Let's be honest. How many tutorials have you watched hoping to go from a hobby painter to a professional artist? And how many times have you traced seemingly perfect hands, faces or figures step by step and still felt something is missing? Or somehow it doesn't feel really creative? No wonder. As long as you are just copying techniques, you're not creating anything of your own. I'll show you how to really develop your own style without endless templates, without endless copying. To get started, grab a three-dimensional object. Just something nearby, maybe a plant, a little figure, or, like me, this small rabbit. I'm going to sketch it from different angles. That's it. Super simple, no fancy setup, just pick something and get started. I put my little rabbit in a slightly raised position so that I'm not even tempted to glance at the paper. And actually that's the most important part of this exercise. We are drawing blind. No looking at the paper, not looking at the pen, just focusing the object. And when you're ready, let your hand move, slowly, steadily, just drawing. And yeah, at first it might feel totally weird, maybe even wrong. You are probably think, this won't work, this is going to look terrible. But that's exactly where the shift happens. When your brain moves from thinking to observing, from logic to seeing, from controlling to noticing. As I scan the rabbit piece by piece with my eyes, my hand moves automatically. I don't lift the pen, I keep moving, without pausing, without correcting. Draw what is really there. What do you really see? Not what you think you know, not the shapes you've drawn from memory 100 times before. Because that's what it's all about, perception. About truly seeing what's in front of you. Notice where the shadows fall, where the light touches the surface and how they blend. Follow the edges that define where the object ends and the space around it begins. And slowly you'll feel your whole way of seeing begin to change. Suddenly you notice details you never saw before, fine textures, tiny marks, light sliding along the edges, the form shifting gently as you move your head, and just like that, you are really seeing. That's a moment drawing becomes something else, more than just copying, more than technique. That's when you slip into what I called art mode. And I know how hard it can be to keep that feeling alive, especially when you're working on your own. If you ever feel like you need some extra support, you'll find the link to our Patreon community below, or just leave me a comment. Art mode is when your inner voices goes quiet, when you stop drawing from memory and start noticing what's really there, with curiosity, with attention, without the filter of expectations. That's when drawing becomes real, when you stop imitating and start seeing. Raw, honest, unfiltered. And honestly, I couldn't care less what the drawing looks like in the end. That's not the point. Sure, it might look unusual, imperfect, off balance, but what you create is something you didn't expect. Something that didn't exist before, not even in your head. And yes, sometimes it might feel like a mistake. But those mistakes, they can be your best discoveries. Because you are creating something that only you can make, something real, something yours. Most tutorials teach you to draw things the right way, neat, precise, safe. But finding your own line, that often feels strange at first, maybe even wrong. Someone might tell you that doesn't look quite right. Don't let that throw you off. Because you once create something truly your own, you'll discover a beauty no tutorial can teach. I see it all the time in before and after thumbnails and drawing tutorials. Honestly, I often prefer the beginning. There's something raw there, something alive. Later, it might look perfect, but often that whiteness is gone. In the end, it's your choice. What do you want? A drawing that follows someone else's rules, or one that carries your own voice? Whatever you choose, just draw. Keep going, keep exploring, keep showing up your own ideas. Because that's where your style begins, not in perfection, but in doing. In getting lost and finding your way back. So just draw, the rest will follow. And if you ever feel blocked, check out this video and leave a like, drop a comment or follow for more. And I'll see you the next time.